In Manchester these days, it was like walking between two worlds. Outside, there is a petrol crisis. There is a discussion about the lack of truck drivers, and demonstrating pig farmers hold up signs with the question, where have the butchers gone? Inside the convention center, where the Conservatives held their convention, these problems seem quite far away. Although more and more industries are currently complaining about a shortage of skilled workers, and millions of Brits are feeling the concrete effects in everyday lives, the Tories are conspicuously uncritical behind their Prime Minister. Unreserved praise, such as Ed Pitford from the constituency of London and Westminster, can be heard from many party members. I think Boris Johnson is doing a very good job, he says. Nobody had to go through a pandemic before, and they launched a vaccination program that got Britain back on track, and now we are among those in the G7 who are making the most progress. Just saying it already, that's a lie. Only Italy is doing worse than Britain. Everybody else is doing better. Johnson is firmly in the saddle. Whether political crises or personal affairs, nothing sticks to him. For that matter, Johnson is a phenomenon. He's a Teflon-grade premier. The list of misconduct and incidents that made headlines is long. From failed projects to women's stories to racist remarks, the spread of fake news and wallpapergate. Opposition leader Keir Starmer regularly works on Johnson, but there's usually no more than an exchange of blows in Parliament. Wallpapergate was about the luxury renovation of Johnson's office in Downing Street and the allegation that he had broken the code of conduct for the financing. In moments like these, Johnson either responds selectively and leaves the decisive points open, or he claims that the subject is of no interest to the citizens and consistently talks about something else. Or he goes into the attack, which is known to be the best defense. Attack and change of subject can be combined, as in this case. When asked who originally paid the bill for the luxury renovation, Johnson attacked Starmer in connection with the European Union, and Johnson's eloquence is also significant when it comes to the Prime Minister's Teflon effect, because he can also work rhetorically to ensure that everything appears void and drips off him. The fact that the questionable things that he allows himself to do, they do him so little harm, is also due to the fact that there have already been so many of them. That may sound strange, but it's true. The voters get used to something like that. In case of doubt, only that leads to a smile or a shrug of the shoulders. That's just the way Boris is. The fact that the British call the Premier by his first name also matters. The Prime Minister scores with his supposedly chum-like manner. Party member Zoe, who does not want to give her first name, describes it as follows. People have the feeling that they are more closely connected with Boris because he seems to be more like them than the traditional politicians. Because Boris is different. Oh yeah, that's the first time I agree, Boris is different, really. The British government has come under fire for its decision to cut social benefits again after a temporary increase during the corona pandemic. Britons who rely on the support of the payment, known as universal credit, have had to cope with £20 less a week since Wednesday. This corresponds to a decrease of 15%. The debate threatened to cast another shadow over the ruling Tories convention in Manchester, which ended on Wednesday. According to a BBC report, the cut will affect around 5.8 million people in England, Scotland and Wales who are either unemployed or receiving a salary increase by this. Citizens Advice warned that a third of these people would go into debt as a result of the cut. It is also criticized that the move comes at a time when the cost of living is rising. The main burden on the wallet of many households is increased energy costs. The Bank of England expects inflation to rise to 4% as well. Prime Minister Boris Johnson denied fears of a cost of living crisis during his Conservatives' 4-day party conference. He is not worried and is relying on salaries in the country to rise as Brexit has freed them from dependence on cheap labor from abroad. Yeah, you will have to get the wages rising because the prices are rising like hell. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.